Hey, welcome back, everybody. It's time once again to meet our community, the Hispanic business community here in Orange County, powered by the Orange County Hispanic Chamber of Commerce. And leading that organization is the man leading our discussion today here, Ruben. How are you, Ruben Franco?
Good, Paul. How are you?
I'm actually good. Can I just geek for a second here?
Sure.
When I was in college, I studied political science, and my only possible thought was, what am I going to do with this degree other than go to law school, which I tried and hated. I thought I was going to go into the Foreign Service. And today, but I really don't know what you have a member from the Foreign Service here today. I'm going to geek out and find out what they do.
You're going to learn something.
I'm going to learn something today.
That's good. We all need to. Hey, thank you for joining our podcast today. Our community is your community. We'd like to share what we do in our community and our guests in our community and all the people we get to work with throughout the years. And we are very blessed today to have the Consul of Mexico in Santa Ana as our guest. She's fairly new. She's just going to be coming up on 4 months here. Consul Maxaira Baltazar is here, and she's already hit the ground running. She's been a great diplomat for us, a great person to work with already, and we're very, very fortunate to have her here. We'd like to start off our podcast typically of just asking our guests about themselves personally. Just tell us a little bit about you personally, your family, and just share that with us.
Thank you so much, Ruben, and thank you so much, Paul. Thank you for having me here.
Sure.
I'm delighted to have this conversation. And well, what can I tell you about me? I'm a Mexican Foreign Service officer. I'm a career diplomat. I've been in this career almost 20 years. I started my career in Texas at a small consulate in the U.S.-Mexico border, and most of my career has been on consular affairs. So being here as a head of post, it's a dream that came true, and I'm pretty honored and delighted to be part of this community now, especially when there's a big Mexican community in Orange County,
yes,
but also there's a great need for services and assistance, and so I take this as a great honor and a great privilege to work for the Mexican community, but also alongside many great partners here in Orange County.
Right. Tell us a little bit about your family.
Absolutely. Well, I came with family in tow, 4 kids. My husband, I have 2 boys. They're hitting the teenage years now. And then I have toddlers, 2 twin daughters. So they keep me busy. I like to say that that's kind of like the very physical and busy and noisy part of my life. And so they're here with me. And it has been a great post for us in the sense that this is a great community. I mean, the county is beautiful, but also there are so many great opportunities academically and for families, activities, and so on. So it's great.
Yeah, it definitely is. And this job, you're appointed by the President of Mexico. Is that correct?
That's right. So I was appointed by Dr. Claudia Sheinbaum, the President of Mexico, and it was. It happened over the summer, so they sent me here to start on August 1st with the kind of like the clear instruction to support our Mexican community. Of course, we have a big population here in the U.S., but in California, of course, we have many millions of Mexican nationals, and for us, it's very important to support them, make sure that they know their rights, that their rights are respected, but also to empower them through many of the programs that we have at the consulate. So Dr. Sheinbaum designated several new consuls over the summer. I'm one of them. And the idea is to support all these programs to make sure that our community has access to them and can continue thriving and contributing in a positive way to the cities and the communities they belong to.
Interesting. We'll get back to that, your current post, but tell us a little bit about your previous post. That sounds really interesting to us. You were part of the House of Representatives. You were based in D.C. What was that like? What was that role like?
That's right. Well, I got to D.C. on, let's say, summer of 2019, so right before of the pandemic. And I had different roles at the embassy. So when I first arrived, I was appointed as an exchange consular officer with the U.S. Department of State. And people may ask, like, what's that? And basically, that's an exchange program that the Secretariat of Foreign Affairs of Mexico has with the U.S. Department of State, where we sent one diplomat from each country to the other one to learn about best consular practices. And that was a great experience because it was right at the pandemic. So when all the borders closed, like all flights were suspended and so on, there was a huge need of collaboration to get U.S. nationals, but also Mexican nationals back to our countries to be back home, be with their families, and so on. So there was a very close coordination and collaboration with the U.S. government. I was part of that. I stayed for a year and a half with the U.S. Department, and then I went back to the embassy, first at the office of the Deputy Chief of Mission, which is the officer who kind of coordinates the internal operation of the embassy, like the coordination of all the different sections that form part of it. So I was working in that office, and then in 2022, I was appointed to the Office of Congressional Affairs, first as a House of Representatives officer, and then as a counselor for House of Representatives Affairs. And in that role, my job was to assist the embassy and the Mexican government in general in its interactions with the U.S. House of Representatives. And it was a great experience in the sense that it not only allowed me to kind of see up close the bilateral relationship, all the topics from trade, political affairs, immigration, security issues, and so on, but also to understand like the relationship between our countries and the relationship between our governments, and how collaboration and conversation and this continuous dialogue with everyone, I mean, with both sides of the aisle, is so important to move forward the bilateral relationship. So it was a great experience. I think it has been one of the most formative experiences in my career. And yeah, I was there since 22 until I was appointed here in Orange County.
Well, that's interesting. Do you get to interact with people that were in the House of Representatives?
I did.
Different Congress people?
Yes. So part of my job was to, besides the analysis and everything, was to join the ambassador in his meetings with with representatives, and also accompany delegations that would meet with the different Congress members to discuss topics of the bilateral relationship.
That's great. Now, have you gotten to meet, being here now in Orange County, have you gotten to meet our current delegation of Congress people
I have, yes,
in Orange
and
County?
Yes, I mean, from both sides of the aisle, and it has been great. It's a very cordial, a very constructive dialogue, and I think, I think they have very present, all of them, the importance of the Mexican community and its contributions to Orange County. So that has been a very positive experience, and yeah, delighted to work with everyone to support our community.
That's great. Now, previous to your U.S. House of Representatives post, what was your post before that?
Well, I would say, as I mentioned, like most of my career has been on consular affairs. So I started in Del Rio, Texas, a very small community and at the U.S.-Mexico border. Then I went to Europe, the Embassy of Mexico in the Czech Republic. I was head of the consular section there. Besides, I assisted on cultural affairs and human rights. And then I was transferred to New Mexico as deputy consul, or deputy head of post. And there, when I first arrived, actually, the Secretariat of Foreign Affairs appointed me to do to be a visiting scholar for at the law school at the University of New Mexico, just to kind of learn about the U.S. legal system to better assist our community. So I did that for a year. I had the great opportunity to work with the state courts, with the district courts, but also with the Federal Public Defender's Office, to go to law school to kind of learn about the legal system on the topics that are relevant to the relationship and to support our community. Then I was at the consulate, and that was my last post before going to Washington. And a lot of it was kind of like the living room to these posts, which is I was deputy consul, so I would help my head of post coordinate all the operations of the consulate, like oversee like the different programs we have, especially on protection and community affairs. So it was a great experience, which got rounded up by this exchange that I had with the State Department in Washington.
So, growing up, was this something that you aspired to be a foreign diplomat? How did you get into this role to begin with? I mean, what was it that you got you here?
Well, the system in Mexico is a little bit different
Okay.
from the system here in the U.S. when it comes to picking a career. So in Mexico, I have to confess, I always wanted to be a doctor.
Okay.
So I grew up I was 5, 8, 10. I always knew that I was going to study to go to medical school and everything. But because in Mexico you start medical school right after high school.
Oh, wow.
So you start pretty
didn't-
young.
Didn't know that.
Yeah, so you have to pick at your last year of high school, you have an idea of what you want to study, and then you pick based on that, kind of like the section in high school that you're going to be in, right? So in my case, because I wanted to be a doctor, I took kind of like the most challenging section, which included calculus and chemistry and biology and all those assignments that will help you get into medical school. But then I had a little bit of a vocational crisis. So I wasn't completely sure that going to medical school was completely for me. And so I just thought well, my parents told me in the meantime, you need to continue studying, right? So I was fortunate enough, I went to Tec de Monterrey. I did kind of like the test to get in, and I got good grades. They offered me a scholarship, and my dad said well, why don't you keep studying while you decide what to do? So I studied international relations, and I never left. So that's how I got into this field. And then right out of college, December of 2005, and then January of 2006, there's a public call to join the Foreign Service.
Okay.
So you compete with many other people who want to join the Foreign Service too, and it's a very rigorous process to be part of this Foreign Service. So I just thought well, this is what people in foreign affairs do. They try to get into the Foreign Service. And again, I was fortunate enough that I did well, and I joined, and then by October of 2006, I was on my first post right at the U.S.-Mexico border.
Well, there you go. Yeah, I didn't become a doctor either. My sister's a surgeon, but she liked chemistry and all that. I didn't really, wasn't good at it. Still not good at it. So yeah, I bypassed that as well. But in your current role, you're appointed by the president of Mexico. Explain what the role is, because not everybody, I think, understands completely what it is that you do, what the consulate does here. Just if somebody was walking off the street, like Paul, for instance, how would you explain it to Paul, what it is that we do?
Well, I can summarize it very simply. Our job is to support the Mexican community overseas. So when it comes to the Mexican consulates here in the U.S., Mexico has the biggest consular network that any country has in any other country. So we have 53 consulates in the U.S.,
Okay.
just 10 in the state of California. And our job, as I said, is support our community, empower it so they can be well and prosper, right? And that takes many forms. So in my capacity as head of post, my job is to coordinate the kind of the action of the Mexican consulate here in Santa Ana, but with jurisdiction in all Orange County, to make sure that all our programs are working perfectly and fulfilling that goal and that mandate by our president to support our community, to empower it, and to make sure that they're well and they can prosper, right? And that takes many forms. So, like most people, when they think about the consulate, the first idea that comes to mind is that it's the office, like the DMV, the
Right.
office where you go if you want to
Right.
get an
Right.
ID. And of course, that's part of what we do. But that's not the only thing. We actually have a very wide range of services that we provide to our community that go from legal consultations to explaining how the U.S. legal system, so they can we can assist them in their interactions with authorities, but also they can fulfill their obligations, but also exercise their rights. But we also empower them in other areas, like, for example, access to education, access to health, inclusion to the financial system, so they can not only protect whatever assets they may have, but they can also increase them. So if they want to open a business, or they're entrepreneurs and they want to start the process and do it well, so we can show them the way and we can connect them to the different resources that are available to them. So it's very wide, and of course within those departments we do a lot of things. But the other aspect that we do that I think it's very important for not just the Mexican nationals to listen to us, but also to everyone in the audience, is we promote, for example, the relationship of the Orange County community with Mexico. So, for example, if people want to travel to Mexico because they want to go to the beach, or they want to do business, or they want to invest, it's from assisting them with their visa to, if they want to open a business or invest, assisting them on where they need to go, what information they need to get so they can succeed on that. And likewise, businesses who want to expand operations here in the U.S., we connect them with local partners so they can explore this area in particular. And the other thing is we promote culture. Of course, Mexico is very well known globally for its very rich heritage, very rich culture, and part of our job is making sure that our greater communities get to know Mexico, right? So from everything, like tourism, like where they can go, but also music, like the different contributions of Mexico and Mexicans to the arts and so on. So as you can see, it's a very wide range of things that we do, but always with the goal of prioritizing, empowering, and supporting our community.
Yeah, and Mexico is our largest trading partner for Orange County.
That's right.
So I know we've been in meetings together regarding trade, and how important do you think trade is for both sides of the border, for the U.S. side and for the Mexican side of the border?
Well, I think it's very important. Mexico, it's right now even the most important trade partner for the U.S. And here in Orange County, we see there are a lot of companies that have ties to Mexico, and likewise, we just had a delegation who came just to explore what possibilities there are to bring their products, to expand their market here in the U.S., particularly here in Orange County. So I think the ties are there. They're strong, but I think they're growing stronger, right? Like there's a great interest to have this exchange, economic exchange between our countries and our regions.
Well, it's always about creating, you were talking about earlier before the podcast about relationships, right? It's creating those relationships because it just doesn't happen overnight. You have to kind of create those and do those type of things. What have you found what was the most surprising thing in this role that you found that just you weren't expecting?
Well, I think a great and a wonderful surprise has been to find two things. One, it's a community that's so welcoming and generous, and they have been great. Like they work together. They're always hoping to be there for each other, and that has been a wonderful surprise. But it also, just in general, the greater community, just working with agencies, authorities, and like different organizations and partners, I think here in Orange County, they're exceptionally welcoming and collaborative. and that has been a wonderful surprise. I think I really take that as an honor and as a privilege, because I think that allows me to do my job in a much better and easier way than it would be otherwise. So just knowing that that we are welcome here, that people are looking to work with us, alongside us, to assist our community, I think that has been wonderful, and I'm really thankful for that.
Yeah, I mean, I grew up in LA County, and when I came down to Orange County, that's what I found too. It just seems to be more collaborative. People want to work together. That's what we do at the chamber 24/7 every day, and it's great. We get to work with partners such as yourself, and it's good. People just joining us for this podcast, just our guest today is the Consul Maxaira Baltazar from Santa Ana. She's our consul here, and she's been great. But thank you for joining us today, and we want to just continue this conversation about her role and what the consul brings to the table here as resources. Tell us a little bit more about the resources and programs available from the council.
Of course. Well, we're talking about these different sections that we have at the consulate, and we call it the consular tripod, right? So the first leg, if you look at it as a little stool, sitting stool. So the first leg would be documentation, right? And we provide documents to all our nationals and people who want to have a relationship with Mexico. Visas, birth certificates, what people call dual citizenship, but also their Mexican passports, their consular IDs, like just pretty much everything they need. And for us, that's very important, because people have a right to an identity, right? And having the proper documents, it's cornerstone to really have and exercise that
Sure.
identity. So we do that. Then we have the second leg, or the second part, which is protection affairs. So for us, that is assisting our community to interact with authorities, but also to assist them whenever they're in a situation of vulnerability. And that can look in very different ways, right? So it could look from the moment that they have an accident, for example, and they may not have the resources to take care of themselves or to provide with their families, so we assist them with that. But also knowing what resources are available to them, not just for, I don't know, recovering from that situation, but also to legally exercise their rights.
Right.
So we provide them with legal consultations and assistance. For that, we have contracts with attorneys and law firms that assist us to provide those services to our nationals. And also, like, pretty much in everything between that has to do a legal component to it. So for example, many people may be like in custody issues and they don't know what to do or where to go. So we help them navigate. We refer them to the offices they have to go. We explain them what the process looks like. So basically, we do this job of kind of translating the legal system
Right.
to, as I said, ensure their rights are respected, that they have access to due process, and that we help them kind of overcome that vulnerability situation. And then the third part would be community outreach and empowerment. So I think that's an area of the consular work that's wonderful. I would say it's one of my favorites, because that allows you to be very creative on how can you empower the community, what programs can you support, and so on. And the Mexican government actually has quite a few that exercise in all its consulates, not just in the U.S., but also in other parts of the world. And one, it's access to education. So we have the Ventanillas de Educación at the consulates, and what we do is just map out the education opportunities for our community. And that looks from literacy efforts to learning second language to higher education, and sometimes reskilling in order to be included in the labor force wherever they are living. So just pretty much promoting education opportunities, and for that we partner with school districts, higher education institutions, colleges, and so on, so we can map out these opportunities and make sure to facilitate that access to education for our community. The second part is access to health. So I think given that many of our families are in mixed status, we have families that can have access to some programs already established here in the U.S., but some other members of our community may not have access to those. So our job is to map out, again, what are the health access opportunities for them so they can seek preventive but also remedial healthcare, right? So that we do through our Ventanilla de Salud program. We partner with a local organization. In this case, it's Latino Health Access, a very well-known organization here in Orange County. And they do a wonderful job assisting and advising our community on where to go whenever they need this kind of healthcare, right? So, and the third part is the part that you and I have been working on, which is entrepreneurship and financial inclusion. So through our Ventanilla de Asesoría Financiera, we assist people to get them the information they need so they can be included in the financial environment and they can take care and grow their assets. So what that looks like depends on the needs of the community, but it could be from explaining how to have access to a bank account, how to save for retirement, if they want to buy a house in Mexico or they left a house in Mexico, what they need to do to continue taking care or growing those assets, to what we were working on, which is entrepreneurship. So people who are here and, our community is very industrious. They're very hardworking and they're very talented. And many times they want to open businesses, but they do not know how to go about it. So we partner with our organizations like the Orange County Hispanic Chamber of Commerce and many others here locally that can help us, again, share that information to our community so they can explore that part and they can, again, contribute to having a business to take care of themselves and their families financially, but also that has also a positive impact to the greater community because we're always hoping that those businesses grow to the point that they can employ other people and, again, contribute to their greater community.
Yeah, the Chamber next year will be celebrating 40 years and in existence. And it was started by entrepreneurs, basically saying what resources are out there. And you're right, Hispanic community is very entrepreneurial, and we appreciate the partnership we have with you and trying to help continue to grow that. I think the sky's the limit when it comes to that, and we're very fortunate to be able to have a partner like you when it comes to that, and we're going to continue to grow that entrepreneurial program and stuff. What are some of the priorities you have in this role?
Well, I think right now there is so much need for support and assistance, but more than anything, information. And I think one of my priorities is to be out there with the community, not only sharing the information of what we do, which is, I think, pretty important that they know what resources are available so they can access them in a timely way, but also listening to them, where they are, what they need, what they want to accomplish so we can work together. And I think that has been a wonderful exercise during this past 4 months, almost 4 months. I've had the opportunity to meet with so many members of the community. And what I was saying is I see that there is a great disposition and willingness to work together. And what we want to be at the consulate, it's an accessible place, like an open doors consulate where people and the community can come in and they can not only receive our services, but also they can share with us their plans, their desires of things that they want to do to continue growing and protecting and empowering the community, so we can add to those efforts and we can support them too.
That's great. How do people contact you?
That's the great things with the social media. That's a pretty great way. So we have we have Facebook, we have Instagram, like we have lines where they.
I've
can
heard of those things. Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah.
but I mean, all they need to do is just show up at the consulate. So
Okay.
really, our doors are open. So we have a lot of events over the weekends. We're present out in the community with information tables and so on. So they can reach us pretty much in every way they want and find more convenient. I don't think the only thing that we don't have yet is TikTok, and I think I'm pretty old to learn TikTok, but other than that,
I've heard of that too, but I don't use it.
yeah, I would have to work on my recording skills to be on TikTok. But I mean, everything else we have, so they can contact us through our social networks, through our events at the consulate, and also we have something that I think it's very important. Is like sometimes people say. We need assistance, and I don't know, it may be the weekend, and we don't know how to reach the consulate. So we have, for example, an emergency line, and that's available all the time for our community whenever they have they're in a situation where they need immediate assistance, like if they were in an accident or something of the like. So we have an emergency line, but also we have a call center that it's coordinated by, again, the government of Mexico for all the consulates, where it's a wonderful resource to our community, but also to us as consulates, because people can contact the CIAM, that's the name, this Center for Assistance and Information for Mexicans, and they can access all the information about the consulate. So how to get a passport, like basic information like that, to if they want to locate relative, or if they need to know where we're going to be and with our mobile consulates, just pretty much any information they may need, it's readily available through our call center, the CIAM.
That's great to know. I think, Paul, did you have a question?
I just wanted to point out that we're going to have this on TikTok.
Oh, we
This
are?
gets
Ah,
cut
great.
and
Oh,
put
really?
on TikTok, so you guys have to get well versed. You're going to be all over TikTok here.
That's
Okay.
wonderful.
We're going to take clips and put them on TikTok.
Okay,
Little special
that's
clips.
good. That's good to know.
And we always do very well. The TikTok channel for OC Talk Radio does phenomenal.
Oh,
Get
great.
Wonderful.
1,000
I'll have to
views
learn
or so.
from you.
Thanks for letting us know. I mean, we're getting close to the end of our time, but it goes by pretty fast, unfortunately. But anything else you'd like to share with us or to share with our audience?
Well, I think first it's a big thank you to you, to Paul, to everyone at the OC Hispanic Chamber of Commerce for this wonderful invitation, but also for your partnership. And the other message that I would like to send is, one is we're ready to work with the Orange County community, and I mean with authorities, with local, state, federal representatives, but also with different agencies, organizations, and so on. But also, we want you to count on us, right? To consider us another tool on your tool belt too, right? So if you need anything, or if any of your audience or the people that you serve need any kind of service, count on the consulate. Please reach out to us. We'll be delighted to assist in any way we can. So the point here is we want you all to know that the consulate is there, and we're happy to contribute to making Orange County a great place for everyone, and including through our Mexican community.
Well, we truly appreciate your time today. We truly appreciate your partnership with the Chamber and your leadership here in our community, and we look forward to continuing it and just continuing to work together, and hopefully we'll see you soon, because I see you almost every week now. But thank you for being here today. We appreciate it, and thank you to our audience for listening.
Now, thank you so much for having me. Delighted to be here.
Thank you,
And tune into TikTok.
and tune into TikTok.
We'll do so.
Thanks, Paul.
Well, there you have it. Another reason to tune in each and every time to meet our community. The wide range of people who come in is an amazing thing to meet each and every time, and it should be a resource for you. So check it out. All of them on YouTube, TikTok, everywhere you can be found. Because our community is your community. Right here in Orange County's only community radio station, OC Talk Radio, streaming live from our studios here at the University of California, Irvine's Beale Applied Innovation Center.